These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup at the semifinals of Worlds 2024.
This is still fairly full health.
All right, let's see whether they can actually make this one work. You can see the barrel has been charged. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage at this point. Level 2 for Zeus does have that body slam. Going to use it immediately onto Canyon. Already down to 50% as Lehens is trying to tank that turret for as long as possible. One more is going to do it, but FaZe almost just straight up dead. And Canyon, 2 turret shots, has to flash. And Zeus says, not today, boys. Lehens looking for another option. He flashes the Zenith Blade. Lehens able to walk out of that one, but he's still going to have to flash as Faker comes down to make sure his top laner stays alive.
Really paid. Whereas Zeus, because he absorbed that early dive, has just been able to catch multiple waves. And I think T1 as a team always look their best when they get to play this aggressive, when the lanes are pushing and they are the ones dictating. As we see the Grubs now being started up as well, would be a really big boom, particularly for Faker that wants to use that pressure in a side lane. Going to be a Drake for Grubs trade. I do think an early Drake for Gen.G is great because obviously looking at their composition, the Renekton is going to lose a lot of value as the game goes on, but Sylas and Ziggs most certainly will not.
Yep. And, ooh, Cask. Very close to being able to steal that one away. I do like an opportunistic barrel being thrown in.
This game feels like that might be the case as the Grubs are going to get started up. You see Gen.G is looking to contest. Level 6 has been hit on Lehens.
Yeah.
Is that enough? 4 Grubs are definitely going to go the way of T1 here.
Yeah, it's at least 4, but I think it's
the vision
almost guaranteed to be 6. So 5 are going to be going down here at least. Here for T1, no vision up and available at all as FaZe can throw a Mega Inferno Bomb if he would like to, but looks like T1 are just going to cut their losses. 5 Grubs is pretty good. Canyon going to be able to grab this 6th, potentially. Owner a little bit far away as now could just be a team fight in. FaZe doesn't actually get over the wall with that satchel. Could be an important start to this fight as Chovy's teleported in. That's going to be the Grub going down, but can they win the fight? Impale comes in, kept into the sweet spot, but the barrel is so good. Still, it's going to be Chovy picking up first blood against Owner, and T1 just not enough damage. Crash this wave towards the top side. 5 Grubs certainly going to be valuable as the game goes on though, and T1 are looking to also even out the dragon count.
And the kill going to Chovy is a big deal. This Sylas, we've seen how hard this champion can snowball when he does get a lead. He's able to very consistently force plays with his catch potential. And it's also something that the Chovy that we saw domestically, I think we've only seen in one game this Worlds, and it was that Game 5 Smolder game. Because his laning stats haven't really been comparable to what we have seen domestically as a trade for turrets.
Well, it's going to be 5 Grubs, so T1 do have a fair bit, but Gen.G, I think they're going to be able to cut this one down. Gumayusi also in trouble there as the Solar Flare does get cleansed. Gumayusi going to be able to make his way out. I believe that was Gen.G taking it first.
That was, yeah.
You want to fight this?
Looks like they're going for a great vision here with this ward, as you can see. So Owner completely on vision right now as Chovy with the Fate sealed, now stolen away or hijacked here as that's the Solar Flare. It's going to connect. Great Impale as well, and I think Area was there for a second, but now he is just gone. So the Herald goes to Gen.G. They'll take a kill as well, and now Chovy looking for more as Faker just going to pop back to his soul. Zeus just going to body slam his way out, and Gen.G, they really are taking these skirmishes.
I think his flash was forced in one of the earlier plays we saw. Didn't actually happen on screen. I think maybe when they were looking for the catch on Guma, but he was positioning so safely. There was no way to get on top of this Ziggs.
Well, now it's just Canyon and Chovy up here towards the top side of the map. 4 members of T1 in the area looking to try and push down this turret. They really want to take their second to even out the map state as far as these structures, and a teleport to come in from FaZe just to make sure that they don't lose it.
See, Gen.G are playing with their advantage very strategically because T1, like, the problem with the Herald was the timing.
1.5k gold deficit 5 minutes ago. T1's going to get this topside turret, so they're going to equalize it a little bit, but is still 1.5k gold for Gen.G and a second dragon on the way as well.
Yeah. It's annoying. If you're T1.
It is annoying.
It's so annoying because
that's stupid Yordle.
You're trying to cross-map the best that you can, and it constantly gets interrupted.
Well, Canyon looking for an opportunity here, but Zeus just going to be able to take the red buff just fine. Where team fights will finally erupt when these teams stop just trading objectives everywhere, as Arrow is looking to connect Handshake straight into it here. And I don't think this Leona is going to last very long. That is going to be T1's first kill. They're holding on to it as best they can. Faker delivered that one. Gumayusi says, you can have it, mate. let's allow you to scale into this mid game.
And I think it's something that Gen.G will have to keep track of, especially after their experience against FlyQuest.
Well, Canyon, he's dashing on over. Faker, able to dash back whenever he would like to, but straight into the Impale! Another Solar Flare's going to lock down Faker, and he is likely to die. The bailout not going to work, and Chovy, yeah, he stopwatches, but now he's looking for even more. Zeus not going to get stunned up here, as Keen didn't have that off cooldown just yet. Way over there first, spotted by a T1 ward, as we can see. And there's a Mega Inferno Bomb just to guarantee that they know exactly what's going on. Teleport comes in, and yeah, there is no smite anywhere near this pit. Chovy, can you actually stop something from happening here? As it's going to be Ona that locks this one down. Ulti from Faker finds two. He's out of there immediately. Keen's able to try and chop them up. And there goes Ona, but they'll trade that any day of the week. They have the Baron buff as Carrier, able to get the handshake beautifully. His position, amazing. As Lahens is in so much trouble, Zay's going to pick it up with a body slam, and Pace is slowed down as well. They're being separated and destroyed as T1 just dance on Gen.G. Not bode well. Party cast? No, it wasn't.
This is why I was a little surprised by the Sylas pick, because you kind of don't beat Yone in lane, and then you don't really beat him in a side lane either. There's this sweet spot in the mid game where you can maybe get advantages just because your skirmishing power is stronger, but right now Chovy's struggling to match that of Faker in the side, and T1 putting pressure everywhere. Tier 2 towers secured in top lane. They've transitioned over to mid. Now they have another wave in bot. Gen.G's been dragged over towards the mid lane. That tower's going to fall. Gen.G in game one, slowly losing more and more control over the game.
3K gold lead now for T1, even though the first minute or so, the Baron, they weren't able to find anything. It's the setup afterwards. This team has perfected these Baron plays. Canyon!
Arrow going to connect. Canyon delivered. He finds an Impale, but he has no friends. The inner turret goes down. Hostile takeover to deliver Lahens, as Keen with the dominance just trying to distract him. In goes Lahens, trying to take them away from his inhibitor turret. So he's going to be separated from his body. And that's going to be a kill going over to Gumiyu. She only needed to invest a cleanse, and there are only inhibitor turrets left for Gen.G.
Used to give this up. T1 only have a single dragon, but it looks like they don't want to give him the opportunity, maybe feeling like in the late game they can't match. Gen.G gonna try and go for a Hail Mary here.
Yep, Chovy's got a cask at the ready. It is going to be Ona denying that soul, and now T1 starting off the fight. Can Gen.G actually find an angle as hostile takeover comes in? Carrier, he's tried to bail himself out, and it's going to work for now. The Impale is good. They take down Carrier, but can they deal with the carries? That's the question. Chovy starting to pop up, and so is Gumiyu. Chovy's cut down. More arrows into his back, and he knows that it's done. Flashing forward. It's a triple for Goober, and that should be the game.
He still hasn't died!
Oh my, 8 games in a row, I guess, gentlemen.
T1 in the final team fight of game one will snuff out Gen.G. A full-on ace at the cost of their jungle and support. The Nexus in their eyes, 30 minutes in. T1 remain the gatekeepers of the World Finals, and they'll say you'll have to try better than that if you want to make it to London.
Nexus turret number 1, Nexus turret number 2, and T1 will take the first game in this best of 5, and we'll see whether Gen.G can do better in game 2.
For T1, I think the only thing that you lack is engage, but the counter engage and your ability to be, if you're first in an objective, to deny any area access is out of this world.
Faker. Jungler pathing topside, those kind of you'd expect. Ona, which means that the threat of the dive is coming.
Yep, Carrier is going to get stunned up here by Lahens as he makes his way in. Level 2 only. Level 1 for Carrier. He's burning down. He's dead. That is going to be first blood going over to Canyon, and they'll take some plates to boot because Zeus now finds himself in a whole lot of trouble. Might have a twisted advance to try and outplay some stuff. That Arcane Smash was pretty good, or the Bramble Smash as it's known now. As Canyon underneath this turret has to flash. He's able to dodge the turret shot as a couple more autos are needed. It's Pace that locks it down, almost dies, and somehow they navigate the dive.
Faker setting up a trap.
Yeah. You've got Ona moving on over as well. Does get seen on that control ward, but finally Pace gets that information. Has to use the ulti. Chainstone land because the flash has to come out, and Pace is going to help now with these grubs. But that is not a lot of extra power here for Gen.G. Losing that flash, really important.
Pace staying alive is crucial there. Otherwise, if they get that kill, T1 can then immediately collapse. You saw the rest of the members actually making their way over. The Maokai is always going to have a lot of impact as a Faker.
Yeah, could be in some trouble here as Lahens moving on over, finds a shattering strike. Ulti available here as Faker decides to go down, but Canyon's there to meet him. Faker now trying to change positions, but the plasma is stacked, and Pays is going to get some revenge.
And Lahens, the reposition there to deny the ability for Faker to ult out.
Actually have some levels in them, as we can see here. Some Berserker's Greaves done for Gumayushi. It's a bit of a battle towards the bottom side of the map. Zayas could be in trouble. Canyon, once again, just lawnmowering his way over. Ona going to get caught by the brambles. Actually not, because of course there's Zayas's. I'm getting confused. Should be a jungler that has that ability. Keen jumping back though. I don't know about that one, but he has the counter-strike. Zayas now looking for an opportunity here, but Keen looks like he's out. Canyon now the one moving forward, but Ona is continuing these autos. The Dance of Arrows can get him in range as they get the bramble smash to slow Canyon down. Impale's going to be dodged beautifully. Counter-strike for the stun. Canyon on about 1 health, and Ona cannot dive the turret.
Not even close. Canyon holds on to his flash.
T1 if they don't fall too far behind. Right now, I think the Gen.G are on pace for trying to create a snowball, but they cannot stop. Like, this is about continuing to press this advantage as much as they possibly can. First Dragon certainly going to help out with that. Next one going to be an Infernal. And Gen.G just have to keep their foot on the gas. Grubs on vision right now, but we can see there's a Kindred in the bottom lane, so it's not likely that a contest is going to work out.
And this all comes from Chovy's prio in mid. This time around actually is able to have that very oppressive laning phase, and Faker just has to catch the wave, so I think T1 make the right call. Don't try to fight that. Instead, try to look for the cross map. Gen.G with Pays and Lahens arriving will be fine. Also want to highlight Owner now on 2 marks, found one on the Grump in top sides. But Owner, who I think was by far the most consistent member of T1 in summer, had a little bit of a dip.
On your Kindred marks, that's when you get the big old range boost and you're feeling really good about it. But Gen.G right now utilizing 6 grubs to smash down this turret. It's not a race this time. Yeah, T1 just didn't even really start.
It's also the biggest boost, and it's the only one that's actually essential. You know, everything past that is nice, but
yeah,
particularly, oh, Lahens.
Yeah, possible catch here on Carrier once again. He shows them the door, but Pays says, no, I'm not going to get caught by that one. One more auto attack, but there's the Lamb's Respite. Where the damage is going to come from in this game from T1. And as that range increases, his lethality will increase as well. Not the stat, just in general. It's an awkward word to use in League of Legends. I apologize, but that's going to be Rift Herald going on over to Gen.G as well. A monopoly on these objectives so far in this game as Carrier's flashing on over. Lahens could be in trouble. Shattering Strike going to hold him in place as Faker wants to be able to get a piece of this. He's not going to get the kill. That's going to go to Ona, as T1, who managed to get their first kill of the game. Down the Nature's Grasp, looking to try and catch them in place, but Gen.G, they just exit. They just
leave.
The move to the left. I like the approach.
Not too bothered there. Keen will get the turret though. But T1 there identified we can't really fight for the Herald, and Chovy was alone in bot lane, so they read the play. Lahens actually trying to cover for Chovy, but gets caught mid-rotation. It's going to be the Grubs and the Herald going over the Gen.G, but the second Dragon of the game.
Oh! Okay, he just wanders on in there. He'll flash away, so they at least get that. Faker also taking the outer turret on the bottom side, but that is so big. And now it's Hextech Soul.
So he's like, wait, I think there's an angle
Something's
here.
fishy here.
Yeah, and so he just went for it. Beautiful play from Canyon. Great read from him. The Herald gets dropped in mid. And the player that we haven't talked about, but is getting monstrously scary,
God,
is Keen in the top lane. He secured a full tower on the top side, uncontested.
Baron damage is so much worse. Last time they had an incredibly quick Baron. This time that's not really going to be the case.
Yep. T1 not going to be able to get on over there. I think as soon as everyone saw that those timers were matched up, they were like, oh, T1's going to try for it.
To really be much stronger.
T1's not buying it.
What is Zayas
They're like,
up to?
you're not going for this.
Well, we'll see what they can actually get done here, as it's going to be Carrier blowing up like a balloon.
They were not!
Yeah.
They were not doing it!
No. Teamfight still kind of stand, but without the Braum, that's a big piece of that puzzle missing. We'll see what they're able to do here, as the Nature is grasping. Does manage to stun up Canyon. He can get over that wall pretty comfortably, as now they've just singled out Zayas. So much damage. Lahens takes the kill. And T1, they had the trap set up, but Gen.G don't want to go there. As now Ona trying to dash back. Keen says, no, I'm going to buy time for my teammates as Carrier comes over. The Winter's Bite does nothing, and Keen, he just wants to fight again. They'll take the Baron, and Keen gets back into position. And now Canyon is just crashing into them. The two-man Impale as well. And Gen.G will destroy the Baron, destroy the team fight. And I think they're looking for the game. Gumayushi is not going to stay undying this Worlds.
It is a systematic dissection of T1. One by one they fall, one by one the objectives follow. Gen.G, calm, calculated, just eviscerate T1.
Oh, and that's straight into Soul as well.
The Nexus might not fall, but this game really should be over. Baron here for Gen.G. Hextech Soul on top of it. And let's be fair, this is what we all wanted.
Oh, yeah. And this is beautiful execution of this draft as well, from Gen.G start to finish. Oh,
Him
100%.
just standing there, it's kind of like his aura is saying,
He's
try
menacing.
me, you know? And the problem is when you lose that Brawn, you lose a crucial part of your front line. So there's no way for them to
He's
approach.
stressed out, man. Always fantastic to check out the Gen.G coaching stuff. But like you say, once again, back in position. Keen with the Counter-Strike now on cooldown. But Kumiushi, oh my god. That was insane damage. We've also now got a Seeker's Arm Guard on Pays. They really want to finish this game right here, right now. Look at that. Another Void Seeker going to connect. And Zap onto that Caitlyn. They can't walk up. Like, how are they supposed to stop this freight train from crashing into their base? Gen.G have taken 2 inhibitors in a matter of seconds. It's a 10,000 gold lead plus here with this Hextech Soul, and T1 once again throwing out some grasping nature. They try to line up behind their tank, and it is absolutely working. Pays is indeed unstoppable as Carrier goes down. The Killer Instinct is named well as theirs is his second one. The Lambs Respite going to keep them alive for now, but who's it healing? It's only healing Gen.G as they move to 1-1 in this series.
Now, when we think of Faker, there are a slew of champions that you can attribute to his name, right? Of course, Akali is definitely up there in terms of a champion that he's had a lot of presence on, but Knight yesterday beautifully demonstrated what this champion can do to an Ezreal.
You can hop on over and he can get that one done just to get some free stuff. It's really cool. Okay, Zeus is standing on a ward, and there are a lot of bad guys in the brush. Oh, no, there's the charm that crashed down as well. It's a dead Gragas. It's going to take a little bit of time because he's relatively tanky, but still, that's first blood going over to Pays, and maybe that makes Faker's job a little bit harder.
6, you have the Vi composition on one end, a Nocturne on the other. It's just going to be a trade here. Does mean that this time Gen.G not going to have the Jax with an unreasonable amount of grubs. Even early trades here.
Certainly feels good for T1. This time it's going to be a trade, so it's not going to be the, the Grubs team picking up all of the dragons as well. Feeling a lot more even.
Grub secured. And I think both teams are quite happy with the current game state.
Vision control here for T1. Do you have Canyon, but he's backing, wanting to spend his earned gold from those four players.
Oh god, okay, the arrow is going to connect. The Counter-Strike wears off, but there's the cease and desist! And he can't flash Leap Strike out of that one, and even though he had the Grandmaster's Might, he's still going down. That is going to be a kill going over, equaling things out for T1.
A classic T1 trap springs on Keen.
Are they going to contest this?
Just have to say, I think 6 grubs is going to be pretty valuable
for
that's T1.
Yeah,
the teleport flank angle is coming in here. Keen, good position to start this one off. He's just beelining right in there. Paranoia comes down. They do throw out the ulti. Carrier trying to keep them at bay, and oh no! There goes Lehens, and now Faker is caught onto Keen, lands the Shuriken, and he's going to wait for the Leap Strike. There's the max range Q, and that's Faker's Akali at Worlds, ladies and gentlemen.
And that is Faker coming in huge, but it's the team response from T1 that's the biggest thing here. Chovy couldn't join that fight. I think Gen.G was expecting them to back off when the Nocturne ult came through.
Is very much true to the style of T1, and their ability to take these early skirmishes wasn't there in Game 2, but you can see how prepared they were. Ona and Carrier were the focus at the start of the fight. Crucially, as you said, Chovy can't join the fight.
Yeah, and Keen and Lehens spent most of that fight fighting each other. One's favor, especially with all those grubs, the Void Mites, and everything like that. Gen.G just going to back away.
Gen.G seeding more, and T1, no, like, we don't have to dive this. We can just poke them down. The only way with the range that Gen.G have that they can never really push back is if they actually hard commit. But because of the vision, T1 knows everyone is in the area. Chovy was showing on top wave. Position doesn't want to fight for Herald. And when you look at these two compositions, it does really feel extremely volatile. Because they are both so short range, you really, once you find yourself in a deficit, have to be extremely clean with your fight selection. as this bot lane turret will go, but the Herald might be dropped in mid. There it is.
Yep, that's going to be even more money going over to T1. They're happy to trade these turrets because this is so much more map control, as Canyon's doing his very best to try and clear things out. Dustbringer should be able to help, as there's the charge, and this turret's not going to be long for the world. Oh my god, the damage! The arrow's going to connect, and Lan's trying to crash his way out, but Gumayushi says no! He has his bow primed, and it's another... Oh, never mind, not another charge. That's a smite coming through.
Oh.
Maybe it was a bait, sees an assist, and it's a double kill! He's able to get the arcane shift, but just barely clipped by the hostile takeover. And Gen.G cannot do anything this game.
I mean, it's just a beatdown from T1. If game 2 is...
Oh god, okay, there's gonna be 5 people towards this top side of the map as Pay's looking to try and get on in there. Another cast. Keen is just being thrown around by it like a ragdoll, and it's another kill for Gumayushi as a result. Gen.G not able to do anything. Faker just utilizing the second portion of his ultimate. And coming into this series, they'd only played on blue side 1 time. This is the 3rd time they've been on blue side this whole Worlds, which is kind of crazy to me because they do love this side of the map, and they are demonstrating to us that in this series, it is not going to be any different. And hope, like what I'm trying to get to here is that we might have 5 games, and that'd be super cool.
T1, when they are playing a comp that feels like it fits them versus the T1 that is on something like we saw last game, is night and day. I mean, never going to contest, but I don't think Gen.G is ever going to give, or a T1 rather, is ever going to give Gen.G the opportunity to get to the point where these gold leads matters less, right? When you have the 2 items on pace, when Chovy can get to a next item, as, oh boy.
Dear. Yep, it's going to continue not being very possible to be able to make those advantages happen, and if Faker gets into the Shroud, Zay's going to follow off the kill, and now Faker is looking to try and get in there for more. Dashing after Canyon and Keen here. It is just Faker at the moment, but now you can see they make their way in. The paranoia comes down. Decent little utilization of the counter-strike, but Faker's going to get another kill. Hostile takeover means Keen is dead at the same time, and Pay's almost hit by that handshake. It could have been worse, and it's still a disaster. It is just... It's just a beauty to watch as we're straight into it once again. Magnus Storm going to come down. This could be a pick as Carrier. Actually more tanky than we might have expected. He gets bailed out as well as Faker gets another one. Make it to his owner. Is in on the action still. He's going to go down. The cast just to remove Pays, and Gumayushi is on a rampage. Keen is on the floor, and T1 are looking to shut out this game. Oh, handshake going to connect there. Not a lot of follow-up onto Lehens as they didn't have a lot of information. Red buff is the prize that they're looking for, but it's going to get reset, and it looks like Owner should be able to take control of it. Into the Shroud goes Faker, now Paranoia. They think they might have them where they want them, as over the wall goes Chovy. He's got the flank angle, and they take down Guma to start off the fight, but it has to be paid for by Keen. Now a 4 versus 4 as T1 look to rally back into position. Can they win the fight?
It's a moment of respite, but T1 still have a very tight clutch in this game.
Yeah, Faker actually looking for Chovy here as he gets into the Shroud. The rest of T1 now moving up. The arrow not going to connect. As Gen.G are now looking to back away. Now it's Zeus' turn to start a bit of an engage with a body slam. And this push and pull, Gen.G putting that phalanx back together.
Doesn't get dissuaded, still has his ulti available, but the problem is all of Gen.G was shepherded to the top side of the map.
To get down there as Lehens trying to set a trap here for anyone who unwittingly moves towards his top side. The Drake will just be taken here, evening out that count 2 for 2, but next one going to be very, very scary because a 4 Drake Hextech Soul sounds unbeatable. Shattering Strike going to get a fair bit of value here, but Lehens still in a whole lot of trouble as Faker looking for them. Still dashing forward as the Paranoia does come down. The stun is gorgeous. The execution is perfect. And now Chovy looking to try and get out of there with that Spirit Rush. And T1, they play it slow. They accept.
Top wave being pushed in. Gen.G playing the side lanes methodically. They're not over-forcing their hands. And what felt like a beatdown earlier. It felt like that we were going round for round in a boxing match, and T1 was just weird feeling that Chovy's going to do something really crazy.
Like in your waters?
Owner.
Oh yeah, Owner was thinking about it. The arrow is going to go wide, but still Spirit Rush has to be invested as Pays gets caught by Handshake, and now over the wall they go, but Owner might be going a little bit too far. You've got Zeus coming in though, just trying to be the hero, and speaking of heroes, Faker finds Pays, but not enough damage. Lehens, the first to go down in the exchange, and now Gen.G are scattered. Pays is dead, and Zeus says, you cannot take this belly. It's going to be Canyon that goes down next, and T1 will take down this inhibitor turret. It took a little while, but I think they're just going to move through and win game 3.
And all that tension deflates
as the turnaround is found. T1 not going to let Gen.G claw their way back in this game. Canyon tries to flash just to clear the wave.
Yeah, King desperately trying to hold him, but he cannot, and now it's Chovy left on his lonesome. He's going to need to be that hero as these minions are going to now join these Nexus turrets. Lahen's just trying to buy some time, and he knows that this game is over. Chovy just trying to get back to his fountain, goes golden alongside Faker, as the Nexus is not going to go down. The perfect execution of T1 in this game, exemplified by their mid laner on the fountain of Gen.G, and they'll move to match point. It would certainly be, oh, okay, yeah,
it's a pike angle.
It's a pike angle.
It's always a pike angle.
For Carrier it is, those bone skewers are targeted for this guy. Watching that series blew my mind. Vadius, I'm so glad that you had your finger on the pulse there, because this could be fireworks on the bottom side of the map. Is like Gumayusi, who are so incredibly good at it.
We talked about it on the way here, didn't we, Atlas?
Yeah.
Where like the mobility and how like in the meta it feels it can be difficult to play, but in a position like this.
Yeah, Faker looking for Canyon, trying to find that opportunity, scaring him with where the shot might go. Point blank, the charge, the stun, but the knockback with the monster shot is not enough. And first blood goes to Faker's Ahri, and it's Faker's Ahri. That's the biggest thing here, because Ahri has been such a curse for so many teams. We actually have the stats here for both Faker and Chovy, and it is a different story when it's the unkillable Demon King that has it, as another charm is going to connect him. Yuji executes. Lahen's, they do try and even out the fight as Faker is evicted, but T1 is still standing their ground. A great start for the defending world champions as Gen.G do manage to get back some control of this grub pit, and I believe for the very first time we're going to trade a couple of grubs instead of just taking 3.
That's such a hefty prize, though.
Special, you have to sort of redefine where it lies, you know?
Now
Possible
Gen.G
dive.
have a stacked wave on the top side. T1 have read the play effectively. Faker's on the rotation. Carrier.
Yeah, can he charge it? He does find the knockback onto FaZe. There's the crash into the wall as well. Lahen's just caught out and explodes. Onu's going to grab kill credit for that one, and T1 seem to do no wrong.
It's an aftershock that ends up picking up the kill as Zeus is pushing on the bottom side of the map.
Team has been denied just yet. In the shellackings that we had games 2 and 3, it's because Gen.G and T1 both enabled their win conditions so incredibly well.
This is going to be a difficult objective to contest, meaning the
Yeah.
4 grubs will go in the favor of T1.
Don't let it go. No possible contest, and a Nidalee composition that isn't able to snowball early objectives.
And a
Always.
Tristana composition that doesn't get a decent
Any
amount of
grubs.
grubs.
Yep, quite rough, and there is vision. Gen.G obviously knew that this was happening.
Oh, Carrier looking for a bone skewer on his on Keen there towards the top side. It's in there before the arrow does
so
come down.
low.
Slightly mistimed, but yeah, Keen was already softened up. And you can see Zeus makes his way into the mid lane. They are taking control of the lanes as Gen.G are committing onto this Rift Herald. Chains of Corruption going to connect onto Lahen's. He's thrown down the ulti, but he's just dead. There's nothing he can do, but Keen gets rid of 2, and now Faker, he's able to dance his way out. Carrier, he's burning, but he should be absolutely fine. Regens that health because he's out of vision. And Chovy still in a little bit of trouble. Zay's going to take a mid lane out of turret at the same time. They take the Rift Herald, but at what cost?
Those out of towers, they got level 11, and then I thought they were trying to collapse. But of course, getting a pick is still worth it after securing those objectives. Second dragon of the game will go towards T1, equalizing that up. But the goal difference is the most crucial thing.
Oh God, another one.
Being pays to play optimally.
Oh man, T1 going to be able to clean up the last remaining outer turret here as well. Faker going to claim credit for that one on his Ahri. Now looking for a back angle. Leandri's instead, but Faker has really liked Lichbane for a little bit of extra side lane power.
And I know we've mentioned it a lot as a hold that thought Lahen's might be in trouble again, but looks like he's going to be okay. Although Guma...
Oh, manages to catch him on the juke, and he explodes one more. Owner's like, all right, let's just turn away. We are not required.
One ends up dropping. Gen.G have good setup for this top tower, but the TP is committed. Can they dive?
We'll see. It's going to be a fair bit of damage onto this one. Spear is going to be coming out perfectly. There's the twisted advance. The charm goes wide. Faker's dead. That is going to be Canyon taking him down, but it's now Zeus trying to be the hero. He catches Canyon with the counter-strike stun, and he's under the wrong turret. Lahen's going to go down for the 5th time, and it's a double for the other solo laner. They may have got Faker, but this is what he does. He baits them into death, and it's Baron starter good for T1.
Every T1 fan has seen this one before. You think you catch Faker in the side lane, and Gen.G, they know they can't contest this Baron. They're just TPing to mid to try and get something in return.
Gen.G just wanted the tower. Faker TP's in. They sit there and say to themselves, this should be an easy pick. His ulti wasn't off cooldown, but the collapse was crucial. Gen.G, I don't think you can do this dragon. They're going to start it, but the collapse is coming through. Faker's back out onto the map. Zeus as well.
There's not going to be an opportunity. Skirmishing coming on over will start to make short work of it. 2 items for this lethality Varus. T1 really just have Gen.G exactly where they want them. This is such a change from what we saw in this exact matchup in spring of this year, but that was a very different Gen.G. That was a Gen.G that looked impossible to take down. They took 2 games then and create miracles, but it's looking like they're going to need exactly that. They want to make their way back into this one. Only a 4,000 gold lead, still looking pretty rough.
I mean, worlds aside, the fact that T1 is even getting revenge for a rivalry that has been so Gen.G favored.
Well, as T1 look to set up a 5-man siege on this inner turret. At 23 minutes, sieging is quite difficult unless the Bone Skewer comes through. The arrow is denied by the ulti from Keen, but now with only 2 stragglers here, Zeus will explode. It's Canyon that locks up the kill as Keen dives in once again. Pei is able to take down Carrier, but it's Gumayushi standing tall and taking down Keen.
Base heal of 240 going up to about 500. If you are chunked, that alone is not going to be enough, but it might be the mitigation that Gen.G need to at least try and contest. And it looks like they are not giving over Soul Point for free.
Well, Carrier is going to walk into Lehens here. Pike so incredibly squishy. There's the teleport from Keen. The front line will arrive. Chains of Corruption do go wide. As now Lehens, he's chunked out just a little bit, but he's going to throw his life away for a good position in a team fight. Carrier on a flank angle. It is going to be Ona taking Soul Point, but can they win the fight? That's a phenomenal ultimate from Keen, and Pays is untouched. Still, Carrier explodes, pops like a balloon. Zeus has the counter-strike, but he has no friends. Faker dives in to try and save him. The flash on Kirby, and it's a double kill. Pays now standing his ground. Gumayushi can't do anything, and Gen.G will ace them with Baron up and available.
But that 6-1, he's got you right where he wants you, as the Baron is going to come through.
Oh man, and look, he may not have got the dragon or anything like that, but Canyon on this Nidalee, it always just seems to be something that can work out even when it's not supposed to. Late game Nidalee is not supposed to be a thing, but man.
Land the ultimate. The top tower is now exposed as they turn their attention to mid to try and defend. T1's base is beginning to fall apart. They still have some towers remaining. But as you rightly said, Chronicle, return to an even state.
T1 can bide their time. I just don't think they will.
Yeah, Nature's Grasp going to come out. The arrow connecting onto Ona. Chains of Corruption just try and buy some space with the flash. Under Faker, the knock-up, and he's dead. Pace's arrows follow him into the death chamber as the Impale is decent. Ona's still alive. He's so tanky, and it's Gumayushi taking matters into his own hands. The spears go wide, and the coffee goes down. It's a double kill for the Skarner, and Chovy's still alive. There's a bit of damage, but he gets over the wall, flashes, but the Bone Skewer finds him. The shutdown for Goomer and T1. They want to go to London.
And Gen.G trying to get the fight, but the death timers are too long.
Oh, it's only Canyon versus the world here as T1 are taking down their first inhibitor of the game. They are not done yet. Nexus turrets stand between them and another final. He goes golden. He's holding onto the wave. He wants to take it down. He does. But another one is conga lining in. Lehens, he knows he just has to move it away from these Nexus turrets. And he is able to stall it out. Another teleport. Faker does come back. And they'll now get their time. It is Guma that's able to melt these turrets. And Gen.G for the last 2 years have been the kings of Korea. But we know the world is T1's home ground.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup at the semifinals of Worlds 2024. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.